Hi guys, it's Irene here and welcome back to Life Loud and Unfiltered. How has your week been? Mine was interesting, very interesting, and full of surprises, full of moments, um, full of happiness. I am grateful to God, grateful, very grateful, I can say. And so, I hope your week has been great and welcome back to another episode. And guys, for those who support me and those who actually don't, you guys who don't, please get into the YouTube channel, get into our social media, Instagram, TikTok. I'll put them down in the description. Please go subscribe, follow us, suggest, tell me, just suggest what would you want us to actually talk about on our next episode. Then we'll actually talk about it and link up together and learn together and just be a big community. So those who just don't follow us, please follow us. And those who it's your first time here, welcome very much. And we love you. And I am very grateful and I'm thankful for you guys. And before we continue, we were supposed to actually talk about the men this time, but we cycle a bit back to the basics, then we will go back to the men. So for this episode, we are actually going to talk about rules that we actually need to follow before we even start dating, or we even think, or we even start thinking about dating. So let's get into it. So guys, as we actually said that today we are going to talk about the rules and regulations that we actually need to consider. Not much, sio lazima tuzifollow, but we actually need to consider them before even think of getting into dating, or get mixed up into dating world. Yeah, so so let's start. I have my 10 top rules that I think that we are going to learn together, and I think they're going to be beneficial to all of us. Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so number one, know yourself first. This falls down to know your values, know your rules and regulations, know your goals in life, what you want in life, know your what you're risking to let someone into your life. Just know yourself generally, and know what you actually want out of a relationship before you even get to one. Before you even get to one. Number two, heal before you deal. This is even, I feel like it falls into those people who got into multiple relationships already, or they were already in a relationship and they were out of it, and now they actually want to connect and get into the dating world again. Make sure you leave your relationship baggages behind. A couple of episodes back, yeah, we actually talked about it, and we said that don't get into a new relationship with your last relationship baggages. We call them baggages. Kumradi. Kumradi. But yeah, baggages. Usimletee mwenzako shida zako ambazo umepitia nazo au umetoka nazo kwenye mahusiano mengine. Make sure you heal and let things flow. And if your partner wa sasa hivi ambao sasa una expect niende kwa mahusiano, if is alright with it, I don't even know how you start talking to them about it, but if they're alright with it, you can help each other out on how to solve those issues. But if they're not, and you know that they're not, please just consider not doing that. Yeah. Yeah. So define your non-negotiables. This falls down into decide the qualities that you want in a relationship, in a man that you want, in a woman that you want before even you get into one. Know that you want a woman who values maybe family or is family oriented. Kuna wengine ambao wana, for some reason people are after bodies, and yeah, you need to know that you want a short girl, you want a tall one, you want a bit mwenye mwili ambaye ni petite. Yeah, you need to know. And also I urge you that these values, make sure they align with you and they align with your life. Na umuhimu tusiangalie tu outside, tuangalie umuhimu wake kwenye maisha yetu. Kama vikupi umuhimu please weke pembeni, cause nasemaga if you want a perfect lady or a perfect man as how you exactly want, chukua udongo, umba wako, go ahead with it. Okay, so also this non-negotiable will actually help us to actually stop dating potential and date reality, as we said last episode. Okay, check their character, not just chemistry. It's very fine to have chemistry between two people, but actually consider their character too, because also, like, let's not go on physical appearance, because miili inabadilika as how days goes, as how life progresses, life just changes. And so when life changes as it goes, trust me, for some reason huwezi niambia kwamba utamwacha mpenzi wako au utamwacha sasa ni mume wako au ni mke wako. You cannot tell me that you're going to leave your family just because your wife was not as how she used to be before, and your husband is not the way she used to be before. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. So you actually need to consider that physical appearance changes. So you don't need to put everything around the physical attractions. Okay, because they actually fade away. Yeah. Okay. So watch how they treat their waiters, friends, family. Here waiters, for some reasons, you kwa nini nilieka pa waiters, but when you actually go out with a person, you just notice how they just, waiters waga wanakusaidia sana kujua if that person is going to treat you right or not, especially pale ambapo you feel like utakuwa umekosea, and the way they're going to treat you pale ambapo utakuwa umekosea, au the way ambapo watatreat mtu mwingine outside kabisa of your cycle. Watch that. Also your friends, or either your friends or their friends or their family or your family. That's how you actually know how things will actually progress. And so you need to be cautious on their character and also, how they act. Not around you, because there will be lovey-dovey around you, but around others mostly, and how they treat others. Okay. Don't rush the process. Naitaga slow burn. I feel like slow burn is a very good thing. When we go fast, that will actually be infatuation. Of course, every relationship starts off with infatuation between two people, but slow burn actually shows you if the relationship is worth the effort or not. So if you actually go slow on the relationship, and it will just tell you like, this person is actually right for me, or this person is actually not right for me. Because at some point, infatuation makes you ignore red flags. Yeah. So also take time to observe consistency in what they say and what they do. I also talked about this on the last episode. I talked about it very deeply. Please, if you haven't seen episode 4, please go back and let's learn how to date reality and not date potential. Yeah. But yes, watch out their consistency in what they say and what they do, what they communicate and what they say. Do they go together? Yeah, this is how they go together. Or do they differ apart? So we need to actually see about that. It's very important, guys. It's very, very, very important in before you even start like feeling or even thinking of dating them. Even though it's a friendship, your your slow burn now is on friendship and everything. Yeah, watch out, watch out. Keep your standards, not just your feelings. Okay, so here's something. Feelings can feelings is feelings are good. Okay, how we feel someone of how we feel about someone is a very good thing. But sometimes feelings can blind you, but then standards can always protect you. Yeah. So just make sure your standards are on point. Yeah, feelings will be considered, but after standards, because when standards protect you, then feelings come. Then you can love someone while you're also seeing them, how they react and how they are and everything. Yeah. But if they don't meet your standards and you see that, oh no, this person can never meet my standards, just sio kifungo, you can just opt to leave. But if you cannot opt to leave, then you can just sit tight, catch that wheel, and then drive as far as you can. Or like, so you just go with it. You just, if you see you can handle them, you can handle them even though they don't reach your standards, just go with them. It's not a problem. But make sure, make sure. Yeah. Okay. Watch how they handle conflicts. Now, this is important. Now, disagreements reveal the truth about emotional maturity. Yeah, disagreements, whether it can be disagreement between you two or between other people, him or her with other people. The way they handle the conflict just shows you how mature they are and how they are going to actually handle you in a conflict, or when you guys are facing a conflict or of some type, of some type. It can be, although it can be them who made the who were is the problem, or even you, but the way they handle it shows you if you can handle being in a dating phase with them or not. Okay, if they cannot disagree respectfully, you can agree and then you can disagree respectfully. Yeah, no shouting, no what, just respectfully. You say, oh no, this is not how it is. Actually, this is how it is. Even if it was me in that relationship, or like in the friendship, in the slow burn, and someone disagrees very politely with me or respectfully, I'll be like, you're grown. Maybe I can handle you. Maybe. Maybe. I say maybe. Okay. But make sure they know how to handle conflicts, or they handle conflicts in a very calm way and respectful way. Yeah. Okay. Make sure your life is full without them. Make sure you have a life out of them. Make sure you are happy out of them. Of course, some can come and just make your life completely change and embrace now you the way you are, love you as how you are, and that makes you happy. That is very much okay. But make sure you have a life out of a relationship. Yeah, you have friends, you have work, you know like you have out of them, like hata kama when they wake up and say I'm going, you are still firm on your things, you're still firm on your decisions, you're still firm on other things. And so when they leave, it's just like, okay, just part of that just left, but you're still holding on very strong. So just make sure your life is actually full even without them. So when they come, they meet your full. So when you're full and they're full, see how that goes? Yeah, just brings a healthy relationship up, and happiness will just come out of nowhere, and you guys are going to enjoy your actual relationship without struggles. Okay, ensure values and life goals align. This is very important because in any dating phase, that's where we check if the goals and the values actually align together. And if they align together, that's when you actually know that, okay, I can push on with this relationship, I can deal with it, I can just go on with it, such kind of, yeah. It's very, very important to do that. So we need to make sure that our goals align together, and also the path that you two are going is one. Yeah. Okay. So some of these values can be kids, religion, lifestyle, money values. They need to be discussed very early on, so you may know where you two stand, kwa sababu you guys are not actually going to know out of nowhere kwamba, oh, this person wants kids, or this person doesn't want kids, or this person wants this kind of lifestyle. And you just need to talk about it early on, so you can know if you're open to it or if you're not open to it. So if you're not open to it, you may not waste each other's time. Everyone can just go on and live their own lives. Yeah. Number 10, keep friends and hobbies outside the relationship. Don't mix friendship and relationship. If your issues, your friendship issues or your relationship issues, don't go on and tell your friends that I'm facing this part of relationship is really damaging me, or is really problematic for me, or I'm facing this problem. If you are not comfortable sitting with a person that you want to, or you're early on dating, and solve that problem, and you run to friends and ask them, like, do you think what should I do in this relationship? Well, I just don't feel this, like something is really going on, like what is going on. No, you need to sit with your partner, or you need to sit with that person and talk together and talk about it, and see if you guys can actually solve it together. So friends remain out of the relationship, and so you guys can have your relationship and enjoy it fully without, because you guys, it shows that many of the relationship, especially the early on relationships, are destroyed by friends. These friends who we call friends, we get them into our relationship business, and then out of nowhere we just tunashangaa tu kwamba wameshaleta maneno, and we are human beings, and so we are meant, or we're wired to believe something from friends. But not all are wired like that, but we just wired like that as human beings. And so tukiamini kila kitu ambacho marafiki wanasema about mahusiano yetu, sometimes can be true, sometimes can be false, and if it's false, inaharibu mahusiano hayo even before hayajaanza, even like ni yale tu mnaanza mnachunguliana like can I get into one with this person, can I get into one with this person, can I not, can I, pale ambapo wewe na akili yako, moyo na akili viko vinafikiria, vinachakata jinsi hata ya kumfuata and all that, and then you ask your friends. Like, it's fine, you can ask your friends, but I insist that you do your own research on your own. apart from the information from your friends. Because sometimes, now here's the truth, sometimes unakuta rafiki yako went to that person and akakataliwa, and now he has many things to say about the lady because amejua amekataliwa, and now you want to go and try your luck there, and you ask that friend will give you negative words in reality, and you're not going to like that actually. Yeah, kwa sababu itakuwa too intense and you'll be like, hapana, no, I cannot deal with. Kumbe it's not her problem, it's your problem, and it's your friend's problem. So we need to be careful also on that. Okay. So here are some of the positions that you should be in before you even think about dating. Yeah. One, you need to be emotionally healthy. That we talked about. You need to be healed to escape unnecessary heartbreaks. Also, you need to make sure that you're finding someone not to fix your loneliness, but to actually go with your values, and you need to know that you need to find out if you're like ready to be in a relationship, or are you just lonely? Those are two different things which can actually affect the whole dating process. If you're dating when you're lonely, just because you're lonely, I don't think that's a good idea. But self-aware and confident. You actually need to make sure that you're confident in yourself and you're self-aware with yourself, that you know your strength, you know your weaknesses, you know your worth. You put boundaries, not for fear, but to protect your peace. So you actually need to know if you're confident or not. But I suggest that you need to be confident. Okay. Financially responsible. You can handle, you need to make sure you can handle the basic needs that you actually need. It's okay when you guys can, fix some things, and especially for the men, you actually need to know that even if it's a dating phase, there's a part of a lady that you need to be responsible for, and so make sure that that part you can actually fulfill it fully. Okay. And for the ladies, let's just make sure that we can afford our basic needs here and there. We can, life goes on. Yeah. Okay. You need to make sure you also need to make sure you can set boundaries without fear. Yeah, please. You need to be in a position where you're purpose driven. And by purpose driven, I mean a partner will only complement your journey and meet you halfway, and they will not become your whole world at first, like right from the beginning. No, that the whole world that you think will be created beleni huko, but then after you're married, maybe you have family, that's when you now consider like your whole world, because when you're married, your whole world is your family. And so this is before you need to make sure that you're only working, you are working towards a goal or a career goal, and then your partner can meet you halfway. Clear about what you want. You have to be clear. As I said, non-negotiables and deal breakers, you need to know them, yours, what you prefer, and we need to make sure that you can spot red flags and walk away without feeling guilt when you cannot deal with them. But if you can deal with them, you just move on, yeah? Move forward with them, with your partner. Okay, so socially balanced, you need to have healthy relationship, and by relationship, I mean friendships with your friends. You need to make sure you have healthy friendships and support systems. Yeah, your parents, either your parents, either your sisters. You just make sure you have healthy relationship with them also before you even think of getting into one with someone else. Make sure you're not isolating yourself or making dating your only source of connection. Get in there, connect with people, get to know people, just changanyikana na watu. At some point, you'll be surprised with how many connections you actually make kwa kuchanganyikana na watu. But let's make sure ili angalizo, let's make sure your boundaries zipo juu while you mix up with people, yeah? Yani you kuchangamana, your boundaries are up also. Because some people will test your patience. Some people will test your patience, and some people will test your boundaries as much as they can, just to see where you hold yourself. And if yours are not like strong, you'll be moved with the influence around. Yeah. So let's make sure with mixing up with people and getting to know people, let's just make sure that we are not lost in that connections. Yeah, we also we need to like be goal oriented, so we know like, okay, nachangamana na huyo mtu or a group of people, I know that my goal is to do this. Yeah, we also need to make sure that we are spiritually grounded. That means our faith matters. We need to make sure that with our values aligning, we make sure that our spiritual goals align too. We need to make sure that we have solid relationship with God first before we even think about going to make connection with other people. Kwa hiyo just make sure Mungu anakuwa wa kwanza, because hao wengine wataenda, lakini Mungu yupo anashughulikia needs zako, anashughulikia needs za kila mmoja. So we need to make sure kwamba tupo karibu na Mungu na hatumwachi Mungu. Naomba mahusiano au kufikiria kuingia kwa mahusiano yasiwe fikra ya wewe kuacha kuwa karibu na Mungu. Tena that's when you actually need to hold God very firm, and you actually need to like hold God very much, kwa sababu people can lie. Hii dunia imejaa na mambo mengi. Kwa hiyo in order for you to actually know, you need God, because yeye ndo anayeweza kuonyesha like, okay, hapa mwanangu unaenda kwingine, hebu rudi kwenye mstari wako ni huu, sio huko, ni huko. Kwa hiyo we need to actually watch out on that very much. Yeah, okay, so here's the unfiltered truth for this week. Let's live with this one. Today kidogo iko a bit harsh, but you know, mutaendana na mimi, like we're learning, okay? Yeah. So our unfiltered truth of this week says, if you don't have peace, purpose, and personal stability before dating, your relationship will likely be a band-aid that rips off painfully, yeah? People don't complete you. They amplify what is already there. If you're whole, they'll add more joy. If you're broken, they'll add more chaos in your life. So before you date, fill your own cup, fix your own mess, love your own life, then let someone join it, not become it. That is the unfiltered truth of this week. Let's learn from it. So our general idea, let's love ourselves first before we even think of giving someone else our heart. Yeah, or even include someone else in our life. So I'm glad to see you on this episode, and we've reached the end, by the way. We're going to talk more about the next episode. I think now the next episode, we're just going step by step into entering in the whole dating phase. And yeah, But guys, I'm grateful because you're here listening, and I'm grateful to see you keep on watching and learning together and just get in there, get your doing your thing and still listen. I am very grateful for you guys very, very much. And I am just grateful because every episode comes with a new revelation on something that we actually need to, or we actually needed to learn about. And so, in everything, I am just grateful to God because we keep on standing. We keep on, tunaendelea mbele regardless, and we are grateful. Please don't forget to pass on our social medias and like, subscribe, follow us, and like our comment, share, just engage with other people, engage this content with other people, let them also listen and learn. And then of course, najua mambo mingi ambayo nimeongelea hapa, watu wengi wanayaongelea, lakini at some point there's always a new thing you have to learn with every video that you get into and every episode that you engage with. Yeah, so let's learn together. I love you guys and welcome back. Welcome to the next episode, and yeah, enjoy this week. Have a great week. I wish you a very joyous and most loving weekend and most loving week ahead. Until next time, bye.